live. All right. I got to turn it around. I think I'm live. What's going on, friends? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm just waiting for my there it is. There it is. I have to turn my phone around now so that I'm not backwards in the universe, and so I don't have any bearings as to what it looks like until it pops up on the screen. And there's some lag time with the live videos. It looks okay. I'm going to turn it a little bit like that. No, I'm going to turn it the other way. See, I'm backwards. All right. I think that's good. What's going on, friends? Happy Sunday. Good to see you. I'm going to minimize the Doug that's on my screen and I will just be with y'all here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, who is with us today? It looks like all of my best friends. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. Meg's around, but she's not feeling great, so she is not going to be on with us today, but she says hello and sends her best. Let's see. We've got Margaret here. Kelly is here. Jeff is here. Greetings, Jeff. XBIA. Let's see, there's Lefe and Fran and Amethyst. There's Arrow. Arrow is wishing everyone a great holiday weekend. Yeah, in America, we've got a 3-day weekend. And Amethyst says it's a holiday in the UK as well. Well, that's great. Enjoy, y'all. We've had sort of a weekend here with us. Our car is being worked on, so we have a rental for now, and we're just kind of chilling. So we've got great weather this weekend. We enjoyed it yesterday, being out a little bit, and we've been out today. I'm back now for our live stream and for our Doug on Demand that is coming up at 2 o'clock. I know it's a holiday weekend, but I'm still up for listening to some tunes with all of our friends in the Council of Dougs coming up in about an hour. We will be gathering the council and Doug's Angels, and we will be listening to your preferred songs. And I look forward to that. That'll be in about an hour. And I've got a great week coming up. I do believe I've got a great week coming up. Let's see who else has popped in. There's Ketcha. Hello. Sheila is here. Andrew is here. There's Mustang. Awesome. Let's see. Tornado is here. Johan is here. There's Steve and me, you and Soggy and Alistair. All of my friends are here. Wonderful. Daniel says, I saw Between the Buried and Me twice last week in Asbury Park. Wonderful. I've heard of them. And I don't know much of their music, though, but I'm glad that you had fun. Let's see. G is here. Uh, wow. All of y'all are here. Welcome in, friends. It is good to see everybody. DP is asking, do you ever listen to LTE? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We actually relatively recently have done an entire reaction video to the entire LTE 2 album. And that was a fun one. I really, really enjoy their musicianship. Some great musicians in that band. Ready to go. So Matt's here. Hello, Matt. There's Fooney. What's up, Fooney? All of y'all are here. Wonderful. Well, thank you for hanging out with me today. I want to say, oh my goodness, take Ela Sunrise. Welcome in to your first live. It's fine. We're nice people here. We're not going to hurt you. Yeah, Matt. I was in church earlier. I took the picture during the readings, so everybody was concentrated up there, and I was like, take a little selfie just to get the thumbnail ready to go, so I don't have to remember to do another one when I got back home. So glad you saw that. Yeah, Johan, I saw that Floor Janssen has announced that she is working on a second album. I haven't heard all of her first one yet, but Floor is one of those great vocalists that are working today, and I've enjoyed pretty much anything I've ever heard her sing. Excellent. Excellent. Andrew, uh-oh, what'd you say, Andrew? Doug, I just rebought an album of Genesis songs performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. Do you find rock to classical interpreted well? You know, anymore, I think the charts that orchestras have to either join with rock and roll musicians or to just present rock or prog music as an ensemble themselves. I think the charts have gotten a lot better, and the players these days are more apt and more energetic about playing stuff like that than they used to be. I think, you know, a lot of noses in the air back in the day. My music is better than your music. Bull butter is what I say to that. Everybody's music is worthy. That's what I say. Excellent, excellent stuff. So, what do we have coming up this week? I need to tell y'all. I need to tell y'all. Besides the Doug on Demand that I've already told you about, tomorrow I am going back to Sleep Token, friends. This is a band that we've gotten to know with a few episodes relatively recently. I told the Sleep Token fans that once we got past the new album coming out, even in Arcadia, it's out. It came out on the 9th earlier this month. That I'd take a week or two off and then I'd come back to the band. I am a man of my word, and I am going to be taking a look at the Summoning. This is a song from their previous album called Take Me Back to Eden. I believe it came out a few years ago. And of all of the songs from Sleep Token's previous work that I've been asked to look at, this title just keeps coming up and up and up and up. And so I'm going to take a look at The Summoning from Sleep Token tomorrow. It's going to be something that I'm looking forward to very much. I have not yet recorded it, and I'm excited about it. A couple of y'all are saying yay. Great stuff. Yeah, I'm really excited about the music that I've heard so far from Sleep Token. It's really, it's heavy in spots, but it's really smart and it's melodic. And you can tell that they've got so many eclectic influences that are helping them make their own musical decisions. That it becomes a piece, the music just becomes a bit, hard to define, but they are forging their path, and I'm looking forward to continuing on getting to know their work. So the Summoning is up for Metal Monday tomorrow. And speaking of Metal Monday, friends, Metal Monday. Okay. We've got a fan favorites that will be coming up this week, and it is Metal May, as we are calling it. We like alliteration here, so we did it last year, and we're doing it again this year. We have been asking our patrons, what are your favorite metal tunes that I have not yet gotten to on the channel or on the Patreon? And they always come through. The voting is ongoing over on Patreon, but right now the bands that are in the lead and looking like they're going to be include Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Opeth, Motorhead, Gojira, and there's more that probably will get in. I know will get in, but those were some of the top ones that I think I remember seeing. And we've got some great bands, some classic bands and some newer bands that are vying for spots in this month's countdown video, driven by your voting over on the Patreon, friends. Get into it. I think the voting ends tomorrow night. And I don't think I'll be able to record it on Tuesday this week. It'll probably be Wednesday or Thursday, because we've got some doctor's appointments coming up this week that will be making themselves known in our schedule. But I will get to it, and I will get to it before the end of the month. And I'm looking forward to hearing some of your favorite metal tunes. That's right, Matt. Steve Vai is up there as well, I remember. And Fooney, what's up? He's going to see Periphery, Mastodon and Coheed and Cambria tomorrow up in Saratoga Springs. Have fun, Fooney. That sounds like great. That sounds like a great time. And Arrow agrees that Coheed and Cambria is another band that Doug should probably get around to. I don't know them. So yeah, let's get them on the schedule and see what we can do. Let's see. Samantha asked, "Have you checked out Queensryche's Real World? It was a collaboration with Michael Kamen and included on the Last Action Hero soundtrack. Highly recommend." The Last Action Hero soundtrack is one that I actually listened to as a kid. That's one of the few that got through. I remember especially, what's up, Glenn? I remember especially hearing the version of Dream On by Aerosmith that was on that soundtrack. And I really enjoyed the orchestra with that one. But I think I remember that Queensryche tune on that album. It's been a long time. It's been a long time, Samantha. Thank you for the reminder, though. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Let's see. Bandmaid says more Bandmaid. That makes sense to me. Thank you. Thank you. Alexander says you need to check out more Unlucky Morpheus / Quadratum. Unlucky Morpheus. Where have I heard that? That's a name that rings familiar. But I don't know them much. Bloomus asks, "Do you know Jason Isbell?" I don't think so. Yeah, always some new art. Always there's new artists that are demanding of our attention. But that's a good thing, isn't it? It's a good thing. Daniel says Coheed and Cambria are similar to Rush, but more metal. Very prog, but Claudio has a very distinctive voice. So does Getty. Sounds great. Thank you, Last Poet. Happy Sunday to you. What's up, Justin? All of y'all are hanging in here. I love it. Welcome in. And Fran, of course, is asking for more Tedeschi trucks. Fran, where did I put the album? Because the vinyl is on the turntable, but I just had to set this aside yesterday. But I've been listening to a bit of it. Thank you for sending that. It's a great album. Man, they're a good band. Tedeschi Trucks, one of the better rock and roll bands working today, I do believe, from what I've heard. Sounds great. They can really play. So I've told you about Sleep Token on Monday. We've got the Metal May fan favorites coming, probably not on Tuesday, but sometime this week. On Wednesday, I know I did some gaming last week, y'all, but there is a really hot new game with a soundtrack that is equally hot. It is called Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I think Expedition 33 is the actual name of the game. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm looking at. Expedition 33 Claire Obscure. It's a game that I believe came out just in the last month. And people have been sending stuff into me about this. And I've also started to see other reactors getting in on some of the music. And one of the pieces that got sent to me was a full orchestral session. I believe that the full video is like 15 minutes, and it's got snippets or short songs from the soundtrack included in it. And it's making me think of when I did the suite from Attack on Titan, and we got all these different little songs that from the soundtrack that are interspersed throughout that video. And I think that's a similar thing as to what I'm going to hear this time. There's singing, there's orchestra, there's I think some great stuff. Of course, I have not yet heard it, but a bunch of people are really asking me about this, so I'm going to pop it in, y'all. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, a full orchestral session. And my notes say it features 5 short pieces from the soundtrack. That's what we're up to on Wednesday. It's going to be fun. On Thursday, I am dropping another interview. Recently, I had the extreme pleasure of chatting with three members of the progressive rock band Nectar. Now, I haven't done a ton of their music on the channel. I've listened to a bit more of it with our patrons over on Patreon, but I was asked to interview this band, and I got to talking with Mo, especially via via email, and we're like, yeah, let's get together. And he brought in Rich Chalanda, who is in the band and playing guitar and singing, and Marianne Costello, who is also now with the band singing backing vocals. They're still out there. They're still making new music. They're still doing it the way that they always loved to do it. And I had a great time chatting with them this past week. I'm going to release that interview on Thursday of this week. So I invite you to take a look at that and let me know what you think. It's a great conversation. We get into a bunch of backstory with the band, but a lot of what they're doing these days and with their perspective over like what it was like to be active doing this in like in the 70s and what it's like now and how different it is. You know, it's they have a really interesting perspective. So I'm eager to share that with you. It'll drop on Thursday of this week. Awesome stuff. So that leaves us with Friday. And I'm not going to tell you just about Friday. I'm going to tell you about Friday and Monday because I have something special coming up for all of you. As we flip the calendar from May to June, I am coming back to Iron Maiden, friends. It's been since January. And the Iron Maiden fans have been, for the most part, very patient, very patient, and I'm going to get to the next album of theirs that I have not yet given the album treatment, and that is Somewhere in Time. We're going to do Somewhere in Time side 1 on Friday, and then we're going to turn around on Monday and do side 2. I haven't done back-to-back episodes on one album since I think Master of Puppets from Metallica, and I believe that the boys in Iron Maiden are worthy. And I believe this album is worthy. I've heard some of it, but I haven't heard all of it. And I especially haven't heard all of it in one sitting. So I'm going to do half the album on Friday, and I'm going to do the other half of the album next Monday. So that's our next week in a little bit, y'all. And it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. Yeah. That's a good idea, Daniel. Spock's Beard, their song June. I think I've heard that one in the fan favorites. Um, yeah, it's been a while since I've heard Spock's Beard on the channel, but that would be a good one. Rock and roll. Who asked? I think somebody asked how my time seeing the Dream Theater concert was. That would have been back in March. Sadly, Megan and I ended up not being able to attend that one, but I think I may be able to get to one of their upcoming shows here in America later this year, where they're going to be playing Parasomnia in its entirety. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Score clips. Have you ever considered doing an entire Muse album reaction? Absolution or Origin of Symmetry would be a good one to start at. Actually, Absolution is on our Patreon. We've done that one, and it was a great one. I believe it was last summer. So it's been practically a year. Yeah, yeah, loved it, loved it. Great stuff. Muse, what a great trio, right? Really wonderful. It is 1:20 now, and I need to keep track of the time because I need to get myself ready to go for the Doug on Demand that is coming up at 2. I've got to get our wheel of names all set and ready to go. I need to get my refreshments all on tap, and I'm excited to do another session with y'all. In fact, we're going to have a couple of DODs coming up relatively soon. We normally do them maybe once a month or like every 3 weeks, but it'll be every 2 weeks and every 2 weeks again coming up. I've got some open Sundays and I want to listen to some music with y'all. I'll tell you more about it once we get on the Zoom. But we've got a DOD today on June 8th and on June 22nd. So good stuff. Good stuff. What else do y'all have for me? Alan says, I am 61 and as a kid I used to play guitar. I sold both my guitars about 20 years ago and have been toying with picking up the instrument again. Am I too old? Should I leave it be? I think Alan knows the answer to that question. If you're asking the question, Alan, I think you already know the answer. You can always start again. You can always start again. You know, and if there's arthritis in your hands, then you just play it in a slightly different way. Make music. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love having this thing up here. It says create. This is a little block. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever showed y'all this. Don't fall down. Oh, Doug just fell on his face. That's okay. This is a big kind of block that they etch in, and we got this at an Irish festival in Kansas City many years ago. They were one of the vendors, and they were out offering, we can put your name or your family name, something like that, in there. And of course, our last name is Helvering, and you pay by the letter. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do Helvering on one of these, but the guy says, well, do you have anything else that, like a saying or an idea? I'm like, you know what? Create. And this has been on my desk ever since. And I absolutely rely on it to help remind me that we are called to be creators. I got to stand Doug back up. Doug and Megan and Trixie. There we go. We're hanging in there. All right. We're hanging in there. Adrian, yeah, still waiting for Doug to pick up the guitar. There's Ray's guitar in the back, just calling to me. I'm scared, to be quite honest. I'm scared to take the time because I feel like once I pick it up and start to explore it, it's going to consume me and asking for more and more and more of my time. And I'm so darn busy right now that it's got me kind of trepidatious, trepidatious to do it. But thanks for the reminder. I need to get to it for sure. For sure. Let's see. Lawrence says a while ago there was this meme about Liebling vocalist of Pentagram. The song was The Ghoul. So after 40-ish years, this vocalist finally gets recognition. That's funny. Let's see, Michael. Yeah, I've heard of Eric Johnson. I think I think if I've heard, he's a really great player. I think I've heard some of his stuff, but I don't think much. Yeah. Ricky says it's time for some Whitesnake on the channel. Well, I don't think anybody put any Whitesnake in for Metal May. They would qualify as a metal band. Glam metal, right? I remember a bit of Whitesnake from the 80s, especially the videos that I wasn't allowed to see as a youngster. Yeah. Thank you, Yogscast. Much love. Thank you for being here. Adrian, it's probably would be good for my mental health, quite frankly. One thing that's good for my mental health is writing too. I am a composer. I haven't done much composing recently. That's it. Thank you, Arrow. Cliffs of Dover. That was it. What was I saying? I forget. I forget. Oh well. Oh well. Writing. Yes. I thank you. Thank you, Soggy. Just over the past few days, I am continuing to work on an upcoming book that I am co-writing about the music of Big Train, one of my favorite bands, and their song "A Mead Hall in Winter," a big tune, 15-minute tune. I am currently writing an analysis essay on that one, and I have to. it's a good thing I know how to edit, because after I got through going through it and kind of mapping everything out, I'm like, I don't think that they're going to want to read 2,000 words of musical analysis about this one song. So I need to get it dialed in a little bit. But I love trying to describe and write about music in an analytical way. And that's part of what this upcoming book is going to be about. And that helps me with my mental state of mind as well, because it just I'm trying to figure out, I'm in my sandbox, and that's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. Excellent. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I have an album on Bandcamp. How about that? I'm still hoping to get to another one. That was one, Meditations Volume 1, that it's coming up on almost 2 years since that's been out now. And those are improvised piano meditations that are there for my own mental health, and I decided to release them for y'all as well. So thank you, Jeff, for saying that. I appreciate it. Hmm. Welcome, Robert. Wonderful. Y'all are all great. I love learning from y'all. Lauren, that's great. Working on a sci-fi novel. Always be creating. If you're creating, you're curious and you're open to new ideas, right? Or new pieces or new music or new art, all of that stuff. Just don't just fall back on what we think we know. Always be curious, you know? Remember that line um from Ted Lasso, be curious, not judgmental. One of the lines that as soon as I heard it was like, of course, an axiom to live by, an axiom to live by. So, what else is up this week? Let me remind you, we have a DoD, a Doug on Demand, coming up in about 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Council members and Doug's Angels, be there or be square. We have a Metal Monday tomorrow featuring Sleep Token. We're coming back to Sleep Token with their song The Summoning. We have music from a new game, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, and it's orchestral. And that's going to be fun on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we're starting Somewhere in Time from Iron Maiden, and I will continue Somewhere in Time the following Monday. So we're going to get side one and then side two. Also in there, we're going to have our Metal May fan favorites countdown over on the Patreon channel. Awesome stuff, y'all. I continue to be inspired by you, by all of this music that you are sharing with me, and I will do my best. I will continue to do my best to get to all of the music that you would like me to get to in as timely a manner as I can. I also need to, keep time for myself and all of that stuff. But I really feel alive when I'm doing these videos, and I really am thankful that y'all are here continuing to provide me the opportunity to go on this journey. And what a journey it is! Music, learning it, and learning all the new stuff that I don't already know with the help of y'all. So I think with that, I am going to sign off for today and say thank you very much. I am going to get myself ready for the Doug on Demand. That is 2 hours, 2 hours of pretty much nonstop music that you want me to hear. And I love doing the Doug on Demands. I'm looking forward to it, and I will get myself ready, and I will see those of you that are joining us in about 30 minutes. For the rest of y'all, thank you very much. Drop me a line if you have questions, but in the meantime, I will be live with you on Monday afternoon, on Wednesday afternoon, and on Friday afternoon, and I will be looking forward to seeing y'all in those premieres. Until then, thanks very much. I appreciate y'all. Take care, and I hope you have a great holiday weekend. or a non-holiday weekend, whatever floats your boat. And I hope you have a great week. Okay, so thanks everybody. Now I just gotta figure out where to put my finger so I can stop this because it's on the. I gotta look around the back here. So hang on a second. Okay, I'm gonna turn this. There it is. There's my writer diploma that says Westminster Choir College. How about that? Excellent. All right. So see y'all.